Welcome to Insta Youth Group. This week we're thinking a little bit about the artistic pathway and how God connects to us through co-creation and through different artistic methods. So we've invited our friend Lucas, a high school senior, to share with us some of his art and how art has impacted him, and also what it feels like to have God connect to you through the arts.
Lucas recorded himself making one of his original art projects on his computer and then sped it up so that we can see the whole process. We think you'll really love watching and hearing everything that he's thinking while he's making his art.
Hi, my name is Lucas Teasdale. Before I begin anything, I want to apologize for the quality of this video. This is the second time I am trying to record a speed paint for you guys, and unfortunately I don't have time to record another 4 hours speed paint if I want this video up by this week. So I want to again apologize for how pixelated the speed paint looks, but I really still hope that you enjoy. Andy reached out to me to talk about my art and how it's affected my relationship with God to each of you, as well as how it has helped me through these tough times during the COVID-19 outbreak and quarantine. Now to begin, I want to explain the piece that you are watching right now. I have 2 cats, and I love them to death. They have been a huge factor to my happiness and comfort during this isolation period. I wanted this piece to express the emotions that they make me feel, and how they've helped me through these tough times as well. This piece shows the comfort and the love. A concept as simple as looking into someone's eyes can express an extreme emotion, and in my case, those emotions are comfort, love, and happiness. Now these 2 cats are named Arrow and Levi. Arrow is the fluffier one on the bottom, and Levi is the one chilling up top. Everyone can connect to God in a different way, and for me that is through the artwork that I draw. Art is like a gateway for me to let my emotions flow open and down onto a canvas or computer, paper or wood, and the list goes on for things that you can use. And that feels like a connection to God for me. Now, to explain the speed paint a little further, I'd like to go in a little bit deeper on what I'm actually doing during this time. Now, what you should be watching right about now is on the lines of me painting myself. I decided to kind of go a little bit more in depth with my painting. I take skin colors that I used and I blend them on top of each other by making them just a bit darker with a brush that is supposed to represent an acrylic paintbrush. I go into detail and try and get as much as I can to express how everything is and how I feel or see myself. Now, of course, this is not a 100% accurate representation, as you can tell, of what I look like, but this is basically what I look like if I were cartooned and, a little bit, I guess, different. But it is still me in my own eyes. I go in and I paint my cats. I'm going in and I'm just giving my cats some details. And giving some volume to the fur helps make them look a little bit fluffier and a little bit more accurate to what they look like. Especially when I go in with Levi, I try and make his markings as prominent as possible. Now they're both basically entirely black cats, but the one who I'm doing at the top, Levi, has a little bit more white almost on his face, or his fur is just much shorter, so I'm trying to make that represent in the painting I'm doing at this moment. And afterwards, I go in and I add a little bit more skin tone to myself to make it seem a little bit more natural. I add my acne, and I start to go a little bit more in depth when I start to shade. So I'm really going in and I'm just trying to express the light source that I'm using. Now for this, I didn't really have an explicit light source, so I kind of just put the light source to be in the middle in a way. I kind of highlight the outside of everybody, but when you look in the middle, I kind of added those highlights. And I start to work on a potential background. You'll see here I'm trying to do some clouds, but I could never get the perspective right, and the color was starting to make me upset, and so I ended up just scrapping the idea, but you'll see me kind of try and work on it for another couple seconds. And so I end up Googling a one-dimension kind of directional where I could try and format the clouds, but even that doesn't work, and so I just decided to go on to something else. After that, I decided to go with water and some clouds in the background, and end up being quite satisfied with the piece overall. I also want to say that I suggest everyone to try doing some artwork. It doesn't matter if you don't think you have any talent in artwork, because art is so subjective, and you should be doing it for you, and not anybody else. Your brain is your paintbrush, and the world is your canvas. Take the plunge into something new. So I suggest that you grab some materials, experiment, and let your brain express those emotions out. Take some time. Try. And enjoy. Thank you.
Lucas is a graduating senior this year and headed off to Minneapolis next year to pursue art and design at MCAD, the Minneapolis College of Art and Design. You can tell that he has worked really hard to develop his skills and pursue art for his whole life.
Thank you so much to Lucas for sharing your amazing perspective with all of us. Not only is the art really beautifully done, but your words of encouragement for us to create with God is really inspirational.
Yeah, as Lucas said, art is subjective. So letting your emotions flow into colors or words or actions, this is how we can co-create and join with God in the creation. And we hope that this week you try something. And experience the artistic pathway.
And our song tonight is hopefully one that you'll remember from an 8th grade retreat. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. So be bold. God has called you into this world, into creation, and helping make this world really beautiful. We hope that you can silence those thoughts that tell you that you aren't good enough.
Because in this group, we believe that you are a child of God, holy and dearly loved, that Jesus loves you, and so do we.
Why is this so hard for us right now?
It's early.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna say
why.
it's too